And it's a Swanson fried chicken dinner. That's some value.
A Hardee's Variety Show starring the Big Deluxe.
Remember the flavors of your childhood? The dishes that once brought families together, but have now disappeared. From old-school casseroles to once popular desserts, these meals were staples in households across the country. Join us as we take a nostalgic look back at 1 hour of foods that have faded from the family table. Rice pudding, a creamy and comforting dessert, has a history spanning thousands of years in various cultures. Its journey began around 6000 BC in India as kashir or kashirka intertwined with legends of Krishna, a Hindu deity. Krishna's chess match wager, involving exponentially doubling grains of rice, led to a mountain of rice for the king of Ambalapuzha. Even earlier, during Roman times, rice pudding served medicinal purposes, soothing stomach upsets. Ancient physicians prescribed warm bowls of rice pudding to ease discomfort. Now, by the 14th century, rice pudding had traveled across continents, captivating Europe and the Middle East during the Islamic Golden Age. Renaissance chefs enhanced it with spices, fruits, and nuts. By the 18th century, rice pudding had become an everyday dish, popular due to affordable rice imports. However, as taste evolved, rice pudding lost its appeal and faded from prominence, perhaps due to its familiarity breeding indifference. Baked Alaska is a dessert that combines ice cream with warm meringue, creating a delightful contrast. It consists of a layer of sponge cake topped with ice cream, all encased in a meringue shell. The origins of Baked Alaska are debated, with some attributing it to Antoine Alciator of Antoine's Restaurant in New Orleans, while others credit Charles Ranhofer of Delmonico's Restaurant in New York City. The dessert's name commemorates the 1867 U.S. acquisition of Alaska. Despite its complexity, Baked Alaska manages to keep the ice cream intact through a brief bake at a high temperature of 260 degrees Celsius or by using a butane torch. Though vanilla was traditionally used, various flavors like chocolate, strawberry, and pistachio have also been explored. While its popularity has waned due to modern dessert trends and the challenge of preparation, it remains a remarkable treat that can be made at home, often paired with fruit for added flair. Now let's dive into another blast from the past.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a molded strawberry pineapple jello salad.
Gelatin mold desserts were once a staple at American gatherings, celebrated for their vibrant colors and whimsical shapes. These desserts transformed simple liquids, fruit juice, sparkling wine, or sweetened condensed milk into delightful treats with the help of gelatin. Home cooks used a variety of molds, ranging from small cups to elaborate designs, to create these visually striking desserts. Often featuring fresh or dried fruit, gelatin molds were tasty and eye-catching, making them a highlight of any meal or party. Their ease of preparation and the ability to be made in advance added to their popularity. As culinary taste evolved, gelatin mold desserts slowly faded from the spotlight. Yet these vibrant, jiggly delights still hold a special place in our hearts. Today, they serve as a nostalgic throwback, transporting us to an era when desserts were as much about playful presentation and imaginative fun as they were about flavor. Liver and onions was once a beloved staple in many American kitchens. This classic dish featured tender liver slices sautéed with sweet, caramelized onions, creating a flavorful and nutritious meal. Known for its rich taste and health benefits, the liver was prized for its high iron and vitamin content, making it a popular choice for those seeking a hearty and wholesome dinner. The preparation was simple yet satisfying. Liver was pan-fried until perfectly tender, while onions were slowly cooked to achieve a golden brown sweetness. The combination offered a robust and savory flavor, often enjoyed with mashed potatoes or vegetables. Over time, however, liver and onions have declined in popularity. Modern culinary trends and changing dietary preferences have shifted taste away from this once favorite dish. Still, liver and onions remain a nostalgic symbol of classic home-cooked meals and are fondly remembered by those who enjoyed them in their heyday.
Dessert? I didn't make dessert. Oh, instead, I made some fun.
Make some fun.
You've already made the neighborhood fun.
Jell-O molds, those wobbly and colorful dishes, were a highlight of mid-century dining, capturing the spirit of the time. Jell-O's story began in the late 19th century when a struggling patent medicine maker sold the recipe for just $450 to our great-great-great-uncle. By the mid-20th century, Jell-O was a kitchen staple, often shaped into fun forms like pineapples, stars, and fish. It was popular in gelatin salads mixed with fruits, vegetables, or meat, making it a versatile and affordable choice for potlucks and picnics.
When it comes to entertaining, there's nothing quite like Jell-O. It's so bright, so colorful, it's like something out of Wonderland.
However, behind the scenes, the Jell-O curse plagued the family connected to the brand with issues like alcoholism and suicide. As times changed, Jell-O's image suffered with the rise of feminism and shifting taste. By the 1980s, the era of Jell-O molds had passed, yet Jell-O remains a memorable part of American culinary history. Jell-O molds captured the essence of mid-century dining, but as taste shifted, new creations began to take their place. What makes pineapple upside-down cake a classic treat that still stands the test of time? Let's explore its intriguing history and caramelized charm next. Pineapple upside-down cake is a treat featuring a golden gooey cake topped with caramelized pineapple rings and bright maraschino cherries. Its history is quite interesting. The idea of upside-down cakes goes back to medieval times when pies and tarts were flipped to serve. By the mid-19th century, upside-down cakes with apples or cherries became popular. These cakes were practical because they decorated themselves as they baked and could be made in skillets over coals, which was useful for homes without ovens. Pineapples were once a luxury enjoyed by the wealthy in the 16th and 17th centuries. James Drummond Dole, who founded the Hawaiian Pineapple Company in 1901, sparked renewed interest in pineapples through clever marketing. In 1925, a recipe contest held by Dole led to the creation of a pineapple upside-down cake by Mrs. Robert Davis. The contest saw over 60,000 entries, with 2,500 dedicated to this cake. Betty Crocker's 1969 recipe using Dole pineapple helped establish its place in American homes. Let's explore the journey of strawberry shortcake next. Strawberry shortcake, a classic summer treat, evokes images of picnics and sunny afternoons with the delight of biting into fresh strawberries. Its history is as layered as the dessert itself. The origins of strawberry shortcake date back centuries. Native Americans once combined berries and cornmeal to make a bread-like dessert similar to a shortcake. By 1594, an English cookbook included a version of strawberry shortcake using a scone-like base, different from today's biscuit-style shortcake. In the early 20th century, Japanese baker Fuji Rinnemon tasted strawberry shortcake in the U.S. in 1910 and brought the recipe back to Japan, where it gained popularity. The classic version of this dessert consists of sweet biscuits or sponge cake, fresh strawberries sliced and sweetened, and a generous layer of whipped cream. Strawberry shortcake was once a Southern tradition celebrating summer's fruit harvest and reached its peak in the 1980s with the strawberry shortcake franchise. However, its widespread popularity eventually led to its decline as it became more common.
Thanks for the Brown Betty.
All right, let's dig into that Apple Betty.
Hey, get your own. The boy gave it to me.
It was meant for both of us.
Apple Brown Betty is a comforting dessert that brings back memories of simpler times, having been a beloved treat since colonial days. The first mention of Apple Brown Betty dates back to 1864 in the Yale Literary Magazine. This humble dessert combines sweet apples, fragrant spices, and a twist, breadcrumbs or oats. Layers of sliced apples are interspersed with these sweetened crumbs, creating a delightful contrast of textures. The name Betty likely comes from the British term brown Betty, referring to a baked pudding made with layers of fruit and buttered breadcrumbs. American settlers adapted this concept using local ingredients like apples. To make it, you peel and slice tart apples, toss them with cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar, and layer them with buttered breadcrumbs or oats. When baked, it's best served warm with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream. Whoopie pies was a dessert that sparked a friendly rivalry between New England and Pennsylvania. These treats, with their whimsical name, bring to mind cozy kitchens, generations of bakers, and the sweet scent of chocolate. New England claims the origin with the Berwick Cake Company in Roxbury, Massachusetts, where whoopie pies were advertised in 1931. Conversely, Amish kitchens in Pennsylvania tell a different tale, where Amish cooks supposedly crafted these from extra cake batter. Grasshopper pie, with its fun name and mini charm, came from the lively cocktail culture of the 1950s and 60s. Despite its name, there are no actual grasshoppers involved. The pie's name comes from the grasshopper cocktail, a forgotten drink from that time made with green creme de menthe, white creme de cacao, and heavy cream resembling a minty milkshake with a boozy twist. The pie shares similar ingredients, combining whipped cream with marshmallows or cream cheese and flavored with creme de menthe and creme de cacao. This creates a fluffy mint Oreo delight on a chocolate cookie crust. Light green and refreshing, grasshopper pie became a popular Easter dessert, often served at springtime gatherings, delighting guests with its minty taste. However, it eventually faded from popularity, perhaps due to its rich dairy content clashing with modern preferences. What about another iconic Southern treat that also features pecans? Let's dive into the history and irresistible allure of pecan pie. Pecan pie, known for its gooey texture and nutty flavor, has been a beloved Southern dessert for generations. This classic recipe, which includes sugar, butter, corn syrup, eggs, vanilla extract, and pecans, is simple enough for beginners but delivers a rich taste. The origins of pecan pie are unclear. Some believe it started when Native Americans gave pecans to French settlers in New Orleans in the 18th century. By the 1870s, pecan pie recipes appeared in Texas cookbooks, though it likely existed earlier. The pie gained popularity in the 1920s thanks to Cairo syrup bottles featuring a recipe, with the modern version emerging in the 1930s. Despite its decline due to changing taste and health concerns, pecan pie remains a favorite during Thanksgiving and special occasions. So, whether you say pecan or pecan, this dessert is a timeless classic. Back then, chicken croquettes were the epitome of comfort food for baby boomers. Picture this: a crispy golden exterior giving way to a creamy, savory filling packed with tender chicken, aromatic spices, and a blend of butter, flour, and milk. These delightful morsels were a staple at family dinners and school lunchboxes, often served with mashed potatoes or a simple salad. Homemade chicken croquettes were the highlight of any meal. The irresistible crunch and rich, flavorful interior made each bite a nostalgic journey back to simpler times. Whether enjoyed at a bustling family gathering or as an after-school treat, chicken croquettes held a special place in countless kids' hearts and taste buds. Now, let's explore a dish featuring rich, hearty chunks of chicken.
Tender white chicken meat in a creamy gravy with plenty of pimento, green pepper, and mushrooms. That's chicken a la king.
Chicken a la king, a creamy, savory delight, combines tender chunks of chicken with mushrooms, bell peppers, and peas, all enveloped in a rich, velvety sauce. Often served over crispy toast or fluffy rice, chicken a la king became a staple in home kitchens and restaurants during the mid-20th century. The dish's popularity soared in the 50s and 60s thanks to its hearty, satisfying flavors and ease of preparation. It was frequently featured in cookbooks and dinner menus, appealing to families seeking a comforting, convenient meal. As time moved on and food trends shifted, chicken a la king gradually slipped from the limelight. However, it remains a symbol of mid-20th century American home cooking, evoking fond memories of more straightforward, comforting meals. Next is arguably the reigning champion of sweet sensations from the post-World War II era. We'll savor some delicious casseroles.
What's a better crowd pleaser than a casserole? I've got 5 cheap and easy casserole dishes to feed your family that won't break the bank.
Casseroles became a cherished staple in American kitchens, celebrated for their convenience and comforting flavors. These one-dish wonders, often crafted from canned soups, noodles, and various proteins like chicken or tuna, offered an easy and economical solution for busy families. From the creamy layers of tuna noodle casserole to the savory depths of chicken and rice casserole, These dishes were celebrated for their simplicity and heartiness. The 1950s and 60s saw casseroles rise to prominence, becoming the go-to for busy weeknights and potluck dinners. They were the ultimate symbol of home-cooked comfort, seamlessly merging convenience with flavor. Casseroles weren't just meals, they reflected a time when families gathered around the dinner table, united by the easy satisfaction of a well-loved dish. Today, while casseroles may no longer dominate the dinner table, they remain a reminder of the comforting embrace of a time when a single dish could feed both body and soul, leaving a legacy of warmth and unity that continues to stir fond memories. Icebox cake, a nostalgic American treat, is all about simplicity and cool indulgence. With layers of crisp cookies or graham crackers stacked with fluffy whipped cream and then chilled until they turn into a creamy, sliceable dessert. This dessert's history dates back to the late 1800s when refrigeration was becoming more common. Classic desserts like Charlotte and trifle inspired it. By the 1920s, as the icebox, an early version of the refrigerator became popular, so did icebox cake. This no-bake dessert was perfect for busy home cooks. The cake typically features layers of thin Nabisco famous chocolate wafers spread with sweetened whipped cream. The wafers would soften overnight, blending the flavors and textures beautifully. The icebox cake enjoyed its peak in the 1920s and 30s, benefiting from convenient pre-packaged ingredients. Nabisco even included recipes on its product boxes, further boosting its popularity. Tamale pie, a classic meal that danced across the dinner table back in the day. It was a hearty casserole with a base of savory chili-like beef or pork, simmered to perfection with onions, tomatoes, and a touch of cayenne pepper for a gentle kick. This flavorful mixture is layered with golden cornmeal batter and baked until bubbling and crispy on top. For many, preparing tamale pie was a cherished family event. The process, from melting lard in a frying pan to seasoning the meat with just the right spice, filled the home with comforting aromas. The final step, baking the casserole to a mouth-watering crisp, was always worth the wait. As the timer dinged and the pie emerged from the oven, the anticipation of that first warm, satisfying bite was a highlight of the day. Tamale pie was a simple pleasure, a taste of home that brought smiles and satisfaction to every dinner table.
I can't finish all these juicy flame-broiled Salisbury steaks all by myself.
Time out, Ref. Encore's the 2-pound family-size entree.
Salisbury steak was a beloved staple for every baby boomer in the 60s. Ground beef patties, seared to perfection and drenched in a rich mushroom and onion gravy, made this dish a dinner-time favorite. The savory, velvety sauce paired with creamy mashed potatoes created a comforting, satisfying meal that brought joy to countless family dinners. While today's Salisbury steak may have evolved from the classic TV dinners of yesteryear, its appeal remains timeless. Easy to prepare and wonderfully nostalgic, it continues to evoke the warmth and simplicity of the past. The combination of hearty beef and savory gravy, served alongside fluffy mashed potatoes, offers a taste of the good old days and a delicious reminder of simpler times.
This is the #1 best-selling pot pie in America.
After World War II, Swanson pot pies became a beloved household staple and symbol of convenience. Introduced in the 1950s, these pot pies featured a flaky, made-from-scratch crust and a generous filling of tender chicken and vegetables. Their easy preparation and hearty flavor quickly won over American families, offering a satisfying meal with minimal effort. In the fast-paced post-war era, Swanson pot pies provided a comforting taste of home, perfectly blending tender meat and crisp veggies in a golden crust. However, their popularity has waned as food preferences and trends have evolved. Today, Swanson pot pies are a nostalgic reminder of a simpler time when they epitomized home-cooked satisfaction. Despite these changing tastes, these pot pies remain a testament to the era's culinary innovation and the quest for convenient, comforting meals that fit into the busy lives of post-war households.
It's colorful, good, and you can make it ahead of time.
This lemon and herb salmon loaf was one of the most popular recipes from my first book.
After World War II, salmon loaf became a beloved dish in many American households. This humble yet flavorful creation combined canned salmon, cracker crumbs, milk, eggs, and butter baked into a delightful loaf. Easy to prepare and made from pantry staples, it became a go-to meal for busy families seeking comfort food. The rich, savory taste and satisfying texture made salmon loaf a hit at dinner tables nationwide. Its popularity soared during the 1950s, offering an economical and nutritious option amid post-war rationing and economic recovery. Homemakers cherished the recipe for its simplicity and versatility, often pairing it with mashed potatoes or green beans. However, as culinary trends evolved and fresh, diverse ingredients became more accessible, salmon loaf gradually fell out of favor. Despite its decline in popularity, salmon loaf remains a cherished memory of a time when simplicity and resourcefulness defined American home cooking. Chiffon cake, a delightful creation, made its debut in the 1920s thanks to Harry Baker, an insurance salesman from Los Angeles. He invented a cake that combined the lightness of angel food cake with the richness of butter cake, using salad oil instead of butter. For nearly 20 years, Baker kept his recipe a secret, creating a buzz among Hollywood's elite with its delicate texture and hint of citrus. In the late 1940s, General Mills acquired Baker's recipe, and chiffon cake burst onto the scene, with Betty Crocker leading the promotion of its airy layers. The 1948 release of Betty Crocker's Orange Chiffon Cake was an instant hit, praised for its simplicity and moistness. Over the following decades, variations like chocolate and fruit-filled chiffon cakes became popular, but eventually its fame faded, overshadowed by newer trends. Despite this, chiffon cake was a beloved treat, honoring Baker's innovative spirit.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate snacks that will make your mouth say chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
Chocolate fondue, with its rich cascade of melted chocolate, was a highlight at many gatherings. Its roots trace back to Switzerland, where the traditional cheese fondue became popular in the 1950s, inspiring fondue parties with special pots and utensils. However, the sweet version, chocolate fondue, emerged from a collaboration between Chef Conrad Elgey of New York's Chalet Swiss restaurant and Toblerone's marketing team. In the 1960s, Chef Elgey, known for his savory bourguignon fondue, introduced chocolate fondue as a dessert, with Toblerone's distinctive triangular chocolate adding a special touch. The basic recipe involves melting high-quality milk chocolate with heavy cream and optional brandy, creating a luscious dip for fruits, marshmallows, and cake. Despite its initial popularity, chocolate fondue gradually lost favor, possibly due to newer culinary trends capturing attention. Next up is a dish that earned the nickname SOS.
So today we're going to make creamed chipped beef on toast, sometimes called SOS.
Chipped beef on toast, affectionately known as SOS, an acronym for Stuff on a Shingle, became a beloved staple in American households back in the day. This simple yet hearty dish consisted of thin slices of salted dried beef, enveloped in a creamy white sauce, generously ladled over crispy toast. Initially popularized in military mess halls due to its ease of preparation and budget-friendly ingredients, it quickly transitioned into civilian kitchens, providing a comforting, familiar meal for families during the post-war era. Chipped beef on toast was appreciated for its savory flavor and satisfying nature during its heyday. The saltiness of the beef perfectly balanced the rich creaminess of the sauce, making it a go-to comfort food. It was prevalent in the 50s and 60s, served at home and in diners nationwide. However, as culinary taste evolved and healthier eating trends emerged, chipped beef on toast gradually fell out of favor. It lingers as a nostalgic memory for those who recall its place at the family table, a testament to simpler times and hearty fare.
And in a special zero-gravity pouch, Tang, the energy breakfast drink. Orange-flavored Tang.
Tang, the iconic powdered orange drink mix, captured the essence of innovation and excitement in the good old days. Launched by General Foods in 1957, Tang skyrocketed to fame when NASA chose it for the Gemini and Apollo missions in the 1960s. The idea of astronauts drinking Tang in space thrilled the public and made it an instant classic. Promoted as a quick, tasty, and nutritious beverage, Tang offered a vibrant orange flavor packed with essential vitamins. It became a household favorite, with children eagerly mixing the bright powder into water. Tang was common at schools, summer camps, and even military bases, becoming a staple in American life. Despite its early success, Tang's appeal has faded as people gravitated towards more natural options. Though it may no longer be as popular, Tang remains a cherished memory of mid-century America and its boundless optimism.
A really nice change to roast turkey. This has to be the ultimate for the table.
In the post-World War II era, beef Wellington was the epitome of culinary sophistication and a staple at elegant dinners. This sumptuous dish features a perfectly cooked fillet of beef wrapped in a savory mushroom and chicken liver pâté, all encased in a golden flaky puff pastry. This combination of tender meat and rich, flavorful pâté makes each bite a delight. Beef Wellington was a favorite for special occasions, embodying luxury and indulgence. While it once graced tables regularly, beef Wellington has become less common today. Its complexity and the rise of modern dining trends have led to its decline in popularity. Despite this, it remains a cherished classic for those who appreciate its exquisite taste and impressive presentation. Oxtail soup, once a cherished favorite, is a hearty stew celebrated for its rich, savory broth and succulent tender meat. This comforting dish, suitable for cold and warm weather, was a staple for many seeking a satisfying and filling meal. The oxtail, simmered to perfection, infused the broth with deep, robust flavors, making each spoonful a delight. Over the years, however, its popularity has waned as modern tastes have shifted towards lighter, quicker meals. Though its popularity has faded, oxtail soup is an emblem of hearty, homemade comfort. It conjures memories of bygone days and offers a profoundly satisfying, flavorful experience that still holds a cherished spot in classic cuisine. Tomato aspic was a popular dish following World War II, embodying the era's fascination with gelatin salads. This savory jellied dish was crafted using either 2 cans of tomatoes or 8 medium fresh tomatoes, along with onions, cloves, bay leaf, salt, pepper, gelatin, and a splash of vinegar. The simple and intriguing recipe offered a unique twist on traditional salads. In its heyday, tomato aspic was often admired for its vibrant red color and tangy flavor. The gelatin gave it a wobbly texture that was both unusual and memorable. Served chilled, it was a refreshing addition to any meal, especially in the summertime. Today, tomato aspic is less common, overshadowed by newer culinary trends. While it may seem a bit dated, and its texture might not appeal to everyone, it represents a fascinating slice of the 40s and 50s cuisine. Oh, the memories of chicken divan. Every baby boomer kid can recall the comforting aroma that filled the kitchen as this beloved dish was prepared. Recall the bustling kitchen, where Mom was at the stove, her apron dusted with flour and a warm smile on her face. The chicken simmered gently in a pot, sending savory steam into the air, promising a delicious meal. As the chicken cooked, kids gathered around, eagerly anticipating the moment they could help. Mom expertly chopped the broccoli and the green florets, starkly contrasting the creamy sauce she was whipping up. The family's laughter and chatter filled the room, making the kitchen the heart of the home. But it wasn't just about the food. It was about those little moments that made it special. Stories that caused giggles and a kind smile from a guest, or the excitement of peeking into the oven to see the dish bubbling away, the golden topping forming perfectly. When the chicken divan finally came out of the oven, it was a masterpiece of comfort and love. It was a cherished tradition that brought the family together, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Beyond the chicken divan, who could ever forget the ultimate kid pleaser? Moving forward, let's take a look at a meal that could whisk you away from the magic of childhood.
City chicken! That's right, and by chicken, of course, I mean pork. Because what city chicken is actually a mock chicken drumstick.
City chicken was one of those meals every baby boomer kid cherished. Think of a skewer of tender pork cubes, lovingly seasoned and coated in a crispy batter. Deep fried to golden perfection, then baked until just right, city chicken was like a surprise twist on fried chicken. The joy of city chicken was not just in its flavor, but in the fun of eating it. Each skewer felt like a little celebration on your plate. Whether served with fluffy mashed potatoes, a side of green beans, or a slice of warm bread, it brought excitement to family dinners. Even though it's not as common today, the memory of those flavorful skewers can still make you wish for one more bite of childhood adventures. Remember the days when deviled ham was a staple in everyone's pantry. This savory treat was a favorite for many baby boomer kids, transforming ordinary meals into something special. Made from finely chopped ham mixed with spices, deviled ham could be spread on crackers, used as a dip, or topped onto sandwiches. Its rich, smoky flavor made it a perfect way to use leftover ham, making it a delicious, versatile dish. Kids would eagerly look forward to school lunches featuring deviled ham sandwiches, each bite bursting with that distinctive taste of home. Whether paired with a crisp apple or enjoyed with a side of chips, it was a meal that brought comfort and joy. Even though tastes have evolved, there's something wonderfully nostalgic about this simple, hearty spread. It's a taste of the past that many still fondly remember and cherish. Ah, the beef and bean casserole. A true staple of family dinners that every baby boomer kid adored. Imagine a hearty blend of ground beef and savory baked beans simmered together to create a comforting and quick dish. This classic casserole wasn't just about filling your belly. It was about bringing the family together for a satisfying meal. Topped with golden fluffy biscuits, the casserole had a sweet and savory flavor, making it a hit for kids and adults. It was the perfect symbol of convenience cooking. Simple ingredients, minimal prep time, and delicious results. On busy nights or chilly evenings, the dish was a go-to for busy parents who wanted to serve up something as easy as it was satisfying. Blondies, also known as blonde brownies or butterscotch brownies, are similar to regular brownies but without the cocoa. These chewy golden bars have a rich flavor that's sweet and buttery. Blondies first appeared in the late 19th century in the U.S. with Fannie Farmer, a notable cook, publishing the earliest known recipe in 1896. Back then, Farmer called them brownies, though they used vanilla and molasses instead of cocoa, which gave them their distinctive gold color. The name brownies was inspired by the small, elf-like creatures in popular books and cartoons of the time. Unlike traditional brownies, blondies use brown sugar for sweetness and flavor, with vanilla extract adding to their buttery taste. They can include chocolate chips, coconut, nuts, toffee, or M&Ms, but are often enjoyed plain. Once a popular treat among baby boomers, blondies have become less common, perhaps due to their simplicity and lack of chocolate. What happened to other iconic dishes from this era? Let's explore ambrosia salad and its sweet nostalgia.
Ambrosia, some of that semi-stiff cream, some more ambrosia.
Ambrosia salad evokes a wave of nostalgia, recalling a time when this sweet dish graced many mid-century tables. Originating in the 1900s, it was named after the food of Greek gods, promising a touch of celestial indulgence, and with a bowl filled with shredded coconut, canned pineapple chunks, mini marshmallows, and mandarin oranges, sometimes topped with maraschino cherries for added color. The dressing varied from sour cream to Cool Whip, a fluffy delight from the 60s, or even homemade whipped cream. Occasionally, grapes, pecans, or apple slices were included to enhance the flavor. In the 1920s, Philadelphia's Stephen F. Whitman & Son ingeniously promoted their new marshmallow whip through Food Columnist, leading to recipes featuring this fluffy ingredient in newspapers. By 1966, Cool Whip, introduced by General Foods, became a staple in ambrosia salad, boosting its popularity. However, over time, ambrosia salad began to disappear as its once special ingredients became more common.
Succotash. Not suffering succotash, succulent succotash. America's oldest side dish.
For many who grew up in the mid-20th century, succotash was more than just a side dish. It was a taste of home and a symbol of hearty, wholesome meals. This vibrant blend of sweet corn and tender lima beans, often mixed with juicy tomatoes and crisp bell peppers, brought a splash of color and flavor to the dinner plate. Succotash's charm lies in its versatility. While the traditional recipe calls for lima beans, swap in edamame or other garden-fresh veggies based on the season. Whether adding a hint of okra or a dash of spices, Succotash adapts to your kitchen and taste. Adding to its charm is the playful nod to pop culture. Sylvester the Cat's iconic exclamation, "Suffered succotash," gave the dish a humorous twist and made it memorable. So, as you enjoy serving this timeless dish, remember, it's more than just food. It's a delicious reminder of family meals, summer gardens, and cherished memories from the past. Post-World War II, America experienced a surge in creative and colorful dishes, with molded vegetable salad being a popular favorite. This vibrant salad combined unflavored gelatin with fresh vegetables, highlighting the era's inventive spirit. The recipe involved dissolving gelatin in boiling water, mixing it with garlic and herb salad dressing, shredded iceberg lettuce, carrots, zucchini, and radishes, and pouring the mixture into a mold. The gelatin mixture was then combined with the vegetables and poured into a mold, creating a visually appealing, savory jelly salad. Chilled until set, the final dish boasted a unique texture and colorful presentation, making it a hit at dinner parties and family gatherings. Though no longer as popular, molded vegetable salad remains a reminder of mid-century dining creativity, showcasing how post-war cooks experimented with ingredients and presentations to delight their families. This dish is a testament to the care and affection put into culinary innovation during that era.
An All Recipes member named Suzanne submitted this recipe for stuffed green peppers and commented, "Here is a delicious recipe."
Stuffed peppers are a classic dish featuring bell peppers filled with a savory mix of ground beef, rice, tomato sauce, and cheese. They're nutritious and affordable, making them popular for families seeking comfort and convenience. Stuffed peppers were easy to prepare, offering a complete meal that could be made in large batches and reheated throughout the week. The combination of flavors and textures, juicy beef, tender rice, tangy tomato sauce, and melted cheese made them a hit at national dinner tables. Despite their post-war popularity, stuffed peppers have declined in popularity in recent years. Modern culinary trends and the rise of more diverse global cuisines have overshadowed this once iconic dish. Health-conscious eaters often seek lighter, fresher options, while busy lifestyles favor quick, ready-to-eat meals over traditional home-cooked recipes.
Bite out of this velvety, smooth chocolate pudding to make room for chocolate.
Chocolate pudding, that smooth and comforting treat, has delighted dessert lovers for generations. Its history goes back to 1730, when wealthy people enjoyed this rich, chocolatey custard. Back then, chocolate pudding wasn't just a dessert. It was a sign of sophistication. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it was also seen as a nourishing food for those needing a calorie boost, though it wasn't exactly a healthy food. In 1934, General Foods introduced a chocolate pudding mix called Walter Baker's Dessert, later playfully renamed Pickles Pudding in 1936, making it easy for anyone to prepare at home. Despite its past popularity, chocolate pudding has become less prominent over time, possibly due to changing taste or safety concerns. However, homemade versions and store-bought options like Jell-O pudding still bring this classic delight to our tables.
I'm sure a lot of you already love chicken liver pate, and there are probably just as many of you who haven't tried this fancy spread for a number of reasons.
In the years following World War II, liver pate emerged as a popular and sophisticated appetizer, gracing the tables of many dinner parties and social gatherings. This rich, savory spread, made primarily from chicken livers, symbolized culinary refinement and a testament to the era's adventurous palate. Liver pate was celebrated for its smooth, creamy texture and deep, robust flavor. It was often paired with crackers or toasted bread and served as an elegant starter that set the tone for a gourmet meal. The pate's distinct taste and luxurious mouthfeel made it a favorite among food connoisseurs and homemakers. Despite its once widespread popularity, liver pate has declined in modern times, overshadowed by contemporary appetizers and shifting dietary preferences. However, for many, it remains a nostalgic reminder of when culinary experimentation was rising. In the post-World War II era, aspic or meat jelly was a culinary sensation that graced many dining tables. This savory gelatin, crafted from a rich meat stock or broth, was set in a mold to encase various ingredients. It often featured pieces of meat, seafood, vegetables, or eggs, presenting a visually striking and flavorful dish. Aspic's appeal lay in its versatility and how it transformed humble ingredients into a refined and elegant dish, perfect for entertaining and special occasions. Aspic was celebrated for its ability to preserve meats and vegetables, making it an ideal choice when refrigeration was less prevalent. Its clear, shimmering appearance added a touch of sophistication to any meal, and it was often served as a centerpiece at lavish gatherings. However, as convenience foods gained popularity, aspic gradually fell out of favor. It's considered a nostalgic relic of mid-20th century cuisine, rarely seen on modern menus.
Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make chicken a la king.
Chicken a la king. Now, that meal brings back a flood of fond memories. Back in the day, it was the epitome of comfort food. Coming home from school to the aroma of creamy chicken sauce simmering away in the kitchen was a delight. This wasn't just any chicken dish. It was diced chicken in a rich velvety cream sauce, often with a splash of sherry for that extra sophistication. The mushrooms and vegetables added a delightful mix of textures and flavors, making each bite a little adventure. Whether served over rice, noodles, or even a slice of toast, it felt like a warm hug on a plate. And if we were lucky, it came nestled in a vol au vent or pastry case, turning a simple dinner into something special. Sundays or special occasions often featured chicken a la king, and it became a beloved staple of our childhood. It was the kind of meal that made us feel fancy, even if we were just sitting around the family table. Those days when a home-cooked meal like this brought everyone together, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime.
This is one of our most popular recipes on Pinterest. It's the classic Swiss steak.
Swiss steak was the star of meals, a beloved classic that brought everyone together. Many can still smell the mouth-watering aroma of braised beef steak simmered to perfection in a rich tomato-based gravy. The tender meat was cooked with love and accompanied by various vegetables that soaked up all the delicious flavors. Mom would serve it steaming hot, the savory sauce mingling with mashed potatoes or rice on our plates. Every bite tasted like home, a comforting reminder of simpler times. We shared stories, laughter, and sometimes even squabbles, but Swiss steak constantly improved everything. It was more than just a meal. It was a tradition, a piece of our childhood that still warms our hearts. Swiss steak was family, love, and the essence of Sunday evenings for baby boomers everywhere.
And my grandmother often made her Polish version of stuffed cabbage too. We call it golumpki.
For many baby boomers, Golumpki night was the highlight of the week. These Polish cabbage rolls, affectionately known as golumpki, turned an ordinary dinner into a nostalgic feast. Imagine coming home from school to the irresistible aroma of tender cabbage leaves stuffed with a savory mixture of beef, pork, rice, and spices. Each roll was lovingly prepared, with the cabbage leaves wrapped around the hearty filling and simmered in a tangy tomato sauce. It wasn't just a meal, it was an event. Gathered around the table with family, everyone would eagerly dive into their golumpki, savoring the comforting blend of flavors and the hearty, homey feel of the dish. Golumpki night wasn't just about the food. It was about tradition, family, and the joy of sharing a beloved meal that brought everyone together. For those who grew up with it, golumpki remains a delicious reminder of the warmth and togetherness of childhood dinners. Cherry's Jubilee is a classic dessert that once wowed guests at fancy restaurants and dinner parties. Imagine juicy dark cherries soaked in liqueur, set on fire, and then poured over creamy vanilla ice cream. Baby boomers especially love this sweet and tangy treat. The dessert first appeared in the late 19th century, created by the famous French chef Auguste Escoffier. He reportedly made it for Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee in 1897. Picture cherries flaming with brandy, their rich flavor blending with the warm alcohol. Cherry's Jubilee became a big hit in the 1950s and 60s, shining in upscale restaurants. Home cooks also impressed their guests by flambeing it at the table, with cherries burning brightly. However, by the late 1960s, the dessert had lost its charm and fell out of fashion, leaving behind just fond memories of its extravagant display and delicious taste. Cherry's Jubilee, once the dazzling star of upscale dining, captured hearts with its flambéed cherries and rich flavor. But it's time now for a Chinese-American recipe.
Furong Dan, aka Egg Foo Young. This dish is a Hong Kong cha canteen classic.
Egg Foo Young. What a classic. This dish is so much more than a simple omelet. At its core, eggs mixed with a colorful medley of vegetables and occasionally tender morsels of meat, all cooked until they're golden and crisp on the edges while remaining fluffy and tender in the middle. The real star is the savory gravy that's ladled over the top. It's not just any gravy. It's a rich, flavorful sauce that seeps into the omelet's crispy edges and soft interior, creating a delightful contrast in textures. Every bite combines crunchy and tender with a burst of goodness from the gravy. Egg Foo Young has been a cherished favorite for many. It offers a comforting taste of Chinese-American cuisine, perfect for family dinners. This dish brings back memories of cozy meals and hearty flavors, making it timeless comfort food.
This lamb curry will be delicious, mild, and it will have all the goodness of a homemade curry.
Growing up, one dish that tickled the taste buds of every baby boomer kid was lamb curry, a delightfully spiced lamb stew with a unique American twist. Tender, melt-in-your-mouth lamb cooked to perfection was infused with aromatic fennel and a kick of fiery chili. This wasn't your typical curry. It had a unique twist, making it a hit at family dinners. Often paired with fluffy rice or noodles, lamb curry was more than just a meal, a culinary adventure that brought families together. The rich, warming flavors were perfect for cozy nights at home.
Porcupine meatballs, a budget recipe that's been around since or before the Great Depression.
Porcupine meatballs were a beloved staple at family dinners, capturing the essence of comfort food. These delightful meatballs, made from ground beef and finely chopped onions, featured little rice spikes that gave them their distinctive look. The aroma filled the house as they simmered on the stovetop in a savory tomato sauce, promising a delicious meal. The rice inside the meatballs would cook perfectly, soaking up the rich tomato flavor and creating a satisfying bite. Each meatball was a fun, kid-pleasing treat, making dinner time something to look forward to. The combination of tender beef and the playful texture of the rice turned these meatballs into more than just a meal. They were a nostalgic reminder of family togetherness and simple pleasures. Growing up in the 60s and 70s, shrimp Creole was a dish that brought a taste of Louisiana to our kitchens. This classic meal starts with the holy trinity of Louisiana cooking: celery, onion, and bell pepper, finely chopped and sautéed in butter until tender. Adding garlic brings a depth of flavor that makes your mouth water. The magic happens as these veggies cook in buttery goodness, releasing their rich, savory aroma. A spicy tomato sauce infuses the shrimp with a robust, tangy kick. Served over a bed of fluffy rice, shrimp Creole was a favorite at family dinners. Its combination of spicy and savory flavors created a comforting and exciting dish. Now, here's a classic favorite from back in the day.
When I was a little kid, my dad used to make mock chicken legs whenever my mom was working, on a Friday or a Saturday night here and there.
Mock chicken legs were a beloved meal in the 60s and 70s. These clever treats were crafted from breaded and fried veal or pork, shaped to resemble drumsticks. A budget-friendly alternative to real chicken, they captured the imagination with their unique form and crispy coating. Dinner was always more exciting, with mock chicken legs on the table. The crunchy golden exterior gave way to juicy, tender meat inside. Served alongside mashed potatoes and peas, these mock drumsticks became a comforting, nostalgic staple of family meals and school lunches. Their popularity was a testament to the ingenuity of home cooks looking to stretch their food budget while delivering a fun and satisfying meal. Though mock chicken legs might not be as standard today, they remain a fond memory of childhood simplicity and creativity.
This is stick to your ribs kind of eating. Don't miss the key ingredients in our cowboy beef and beans.
Growing up, nothing said comfort food quite like potato chip casserole. It was a staple of family dinners, a dish that brought warmth and nostalgia to every table. The creamy blend of chicken or tuna mixed with hash browns, topped with a crunchy layer of potato chips, was a simple yet beloved recipe that could turn an ordinary meal into something special. For many baby boomers, gathering around the kitchen table as mom or dad pulled a casserole from the oven was a cherished routine. The aroma of bubbling cream and the crispy crunch of potato chips on top filled the house, signaling the comforting end of a long day. The joy wasn't just in the eating, but in the shared experience of family dinners, where everyone eagerly dug into that golden brown topping.
Do you want a meal that pleases everyone, is easy to make, and comes together in one pot? Goulash.
Goulash is every baby boomer's ultimate comfort food. Growing up, nothing brought the family together like a steaming pot of this hearty dish. Unlike its Hungarian cousin, American goulash is a one-pot wonder that combines the simplicity of ground beef with the rich flavors of seasoned tomatoes, bell peppers, and pasta. Imagine a large Dutch oven filled with sizzling ground beef, cooked until browned and mingled with tender onions and garlic. The addition of Italian seasoning, paprika, and a splash of Worcestershire sauce takes this dish from ordinary to unforgettable. With a base of canned tomatoes and beef broth, it transforms into a flavorful sauce that simmers alongside elbow macaroni until perfectly tender. A sprinkle of sharp white cheddar melts into the goulash for that extra touch, adding a creamy finish that kids adore. Goulash remains a symbol of home-cooked warmth, bridging the gap between generations with its enduring appeal and satisfying taste.
Fresh salmon cakes. That's right, we've done these before, but we've used canned salmon, which is how I normally do it.
Remember those Friday nights when the kitchen smelled of Mom's homemade salmon patties sizzling away in the skillet? Made from canned salmon, breadcrumbs, and eggs, these golden treasures were a staple on our dinner tables. Mom would mix everything, form the patties, and fry them to crispy perfection. We'd eagerly gather around the table, our mouths watering as we anticipated that first bite. The taste was pure comfort, a delightful blend of savory flavors with a satisfying crunch. Paired with mashed potatoes and a side of green peas, it was a meal that brought the family together. Every bite took us to a place of warmth and love, reminding us of simpler times when the biggest worry was finishing homework before dinner. Do you remember those cozy Sunday evenings when the whole family gathered around the dinner table for Swiss steak? Now, let's return to that meal that always stole the show at the dinner table.
I'm going to be making a pineapple casserole, and this is it's a really great dish to go if you're like serving ham.
The classic ham and pineapple casserole was a beloved staple for every baby boomer kid. The sweet and savory combination created a delightful culinary experience that stood out among family meals. Chunks of juicy ham mingled with tangy pineapple, all topped with a crispy breadcrumb crust, made for an unforgettable dish. At family gatherings and potlucks, this casserole stole the show. The tantalizing aroma filled the house as it was baked in the oven, drawing everyone to the kitchen in eager anticipation. When it was finally served, we couldn't wait to dig in. Each bite offered a perfect blend of flavors and textures: the savory ham, the sweet pineapple, and the crunchy breadcrumb topping. Moms knew to make extra, anticipating the inevitable request for seconds and even thirds. The ham and pineapple casserole was more than just a meal. It was a comforting tradition that brought together families and created lasting memories. Banana pudding, a dessert with deep roots in American history, first emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Imagine it being a star at social gatherings, picnics, and potlucks, beloved for its comforting simplicity and delightful taste. Bananas, not native to America, arrived from the West Indies before the Civil War and soon flooded in from the Caribbean and Central America, thanks to improved shipping and clever marketing. Banana pudding owes a nod to the English trifle, a layered dessert of custard, fruit, and sponge cake. The first recorded banana pudding recipe in 1888 featured bananas and sponge cake topped with chilled custard and whipped cream. The introduction of vanilla wafers by the National Biscuit Company, Nabisco, revolutionized the recipe, making it easier to prepare. Although banana pudding's popularity has waned since World War II, it remains a cherished treat at some family gatherings and southern picnics. As we explore the history of banana pudding, a dessert steeped in tradition and beloved for its simplicity, can you guess what classic American dessert with a different twist we'll dive into next? Let's explore the comforting layers of Apple Brown Betty and uncover its sweet past. with children shouting, "Whoopee!" upon discovering them in their lunch pails. Food historians agree that whoopie pies emerged around the 1920s and belong to the same dessert family as scooter pies, moon pies, and devil dogs. The treat consists of two soft chocolatey cookies with a creamy center resembling a handheld cake, perfect for picnics, school lunches, or midnight cravings. While not as prominent today, whoopie pies remain a cherished, nostalgic dessert. In mid-century America, where kitchens were lively and colorful, divinity was a staple at holiday gatherings and church potlucks. This nougat-like candy, both delicate and sweet, was a true labor of love. Its origins are as mysterious as its name. Some believe it came from the southern United States, while others think it has French roots. Regardless, divinity emerged in the early 20th century, captivating many with its unique texture. Making divinity required great patience and skill. Egg whites were whipped into glossy peaks, and hot sugar syrup, often mixed with corn syrup, was poured in carefully. The temperature had to be just right. Too hot and the candy would crystallize. Too cool and it wouldn't set. Pecans were then folded into the mixture, filling the kitchen with the scent of vanilla as the candy cooled on wax paper. Despite its heavenly taste, divinity eventually faded from popularity, likely due to the rise of convenience foods and the decline of home candy making. As we explored the meticulous craft of divinity, we uncovered the sweet traditions of mid-century American kitchens. But
I see bananas when I look in your eyes. I'd shower you with coconut cream pie.
Coconut cream pie, a smooth and creamy dessert, appeared in the early 20th century. Imagine a custard-like filling with a tropical coconut flavor, nestled in a flaky crust and topped with whipped cream or meringue. In the 1800s, tropical fruits like bananas and pineapples were popular in America, but coconuts lagged due to their tough shells and perishability. Early attempts include cocoa nut cream in an 1824 cookbook and coconut pie in an 1843 book, foreshadowing the coconut cream pie. The breakthrough came in the 1890s when French exporters in Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, shredded and dried coconut, making it more accessible. By the early 20th century, variations of coconut cream pie appeared in cookbooks featuring custard, flaky crust, and coconut shavings. Although its popularity has waned due to changing taste and health concerns, coconut cream pie remains a nostalgic treat for special occasions. A new dessert sensation was emerging. With a zesty twist and a fluffy topping, could lemon meringue pie be the fresh delight that captured hearts? Let's explore how this tangy treat became a classic favorite.
Pie for dessert. Lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie, with its bright yellow filling and fluffy meringue topping, has delighted dessert lovers for generations. This tangy treat originated in Philadelphia in the Victorian era thanks to Mrs. Elizabeth Goodfellow. She ran America's first cooking school and transformed her famous lemon pudding into what we know now as lemon meringue pie. By the mid-19th century, culinary influencer Eliza Leslie helped popularize meringue-topped desserts, making lemon meringue pie as a household favorite. Even President Abraham Lincoln was said to enjoy it. Today, this pie is a classic, often found in diners and cherished in the American South, where its refreshing lemon flavor complements the warm climate. However, not all stories end sweetly. Edwards lemon meringue pie, once a freezer-style staple, has become harder to find, leaving fans wondering why it was discontinued. It remains available at select retailers like Walmart, Amazon, Kroger, and Edwards' official website.
And there you have a beautiful Watergate salad. Now I can guarantee you one thing, this is delicious.
Watergate salad, also known as green goo, was a sensational treat that gained popularity in the 1970s. This unusual yet delightful salad combined pistachio pudding mix, canned pineapple, whipped topping, and marshmallows into a green, gooey concoction. It was named after the infamous Watergate scandal, not due to any scandalous ingredients, but for its surprising, eye-catching appearance. Despite its odd combination of ingredients, Watergate salad was a hit at potlucks, family gatherings, and festive celebrations. The pistachio pudding gave it a creamy texture, while the pineapple and marshmallows added sweetness and a touch of whimsy. The whipped topping made it light and fluffy, making a hit among kids and adults. Although it may not hold the same charm today, its unique blend of flavors and textures offers a sweet trip down memory lane, proving that even the quirkiest recipes can leave a lasting impression.
This chicken tetrazzini will be ready before you know it, so let's get started.
After World War II, chicken tetrazzini became a beloved comfort food in American kitchens. This creamy pasta-baked casserole, initially created in the early 1900s, soared in popularity in the post-war era. The dish features diced chicken, turkey, and sometimes seafood, with mushrooms and a luscious buttery cream-based sauce. Baked to perfection, chicken tetrazzini offered a hearty, comforting meal that quickly became a staple at family dinners and potlucks. The creamy sauce, enriched with Parmesan cheese and occasionally white wine, pairs delightfully with the tender pasta, making it a go-to recipe for busy households. Its easy preparation and rich flavors made it a hit during the time when convenience and taste were highly valued. Over time, however, chicken tetrazzini has faded from the spotlight. Modern culinary trends and dietary preferences have shifted, leading to a decline in popularity. In the late 1940s, prune whip became a beloved dessert in American households. This unique treat combined sweetened prune puree with stiffly beaten egg whites, creating a light, fluffy, satisfying, and novel texture. Baked until golden brown, prune whip was often served chilled with a dollop of whipped cream, offering a delightful contrast of flavors and textures. Prune whip was not loved only for its taste, but also for its nutritional benefits. Prunes, known for their digestive properties, provided a healthy twist to the classic dessert experience. It was a hit in post-war kitchens, where convenience and wholesome ingredients were highly valued. As culinary trends evolved and new desserts took center stage, prune whip lost its appeal. Modern taste shifted toward bold, contemporary flavors, relegating this once popular treat to nostalgic status.